Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge,
pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge,
pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Ili tuendeleze maisha bora kwa ajili ya wapendao, nchi yetu na usoni wetu. Kwa ajili yetu sisi sote, pata chanjo. Kaa chonjo, kuhakikisha nchi yetu na uchumi wetu umestawi katika uwazi. Tusirudi nyuma.
It's exactly 1 p.m. East African time on this 8th day of January 2022. Good afternoon and welcome. This is KBC Lunchtime News. Glad you could make the time. My name is Njue and Byron Abuli is our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Remember, you can be part of this conversation via all our social media platform. At Twitter, it's at KBC Channel 1, at Njue. We are live. Now, straight to the news. Over 6,000 workers at Del Monte company have downed their tools for the second day and have vowed to paralyze the operations until the company addresses their grievances. The workers claim they are being subjected to inhumane working conditions, irregular dismissals of their union representatives, and unlawful labor employment policies.
The aggrieved workers accuse the fruit processing company of flouting the collective bargaining agreement that the company has signed. They claim that some of them have served the company for over 20 years, yet are still serving as casuals.
Wanaohusika waangalie hayo mambo kwa makini, ya kwamba outsourcing ya kampuni kupea watu ambao walinufaika miaka nenda miaka rudi ni vibaya. Ni afadhali kupea vijana hata kama ni ku-outsource. Kwa nini hawawezi ku-outsource kwa hawa vijana ambao wanajilea? Wana-outsource kwa wazee ambao maisha yao hata tunaona ni kama yamo kwa ukingoni.
Monte imekuwa ya kunyanyasa wafanyikazi. Sio ati wanaleta hiyo subcontract, unatoka kwa 530, wanaajiri mtu mwingine wa 450. Hiyo ni kurudisha wafanyikazi wadogo kama sisi chini. Sisi vijana tunataka kujirea.
Led by Edwin Andala, the workers faulted Del Monte for facilitating change of employment system from direct to outsourcing, a move they said has resulted in job insecurity.
Del Monte tulisainiana nayo CBA ambao is existing na tumesign close ya Provident Fund, wamekataa kuimplement. Another second thing, kuna shida ya subcontracting. Tunafanya mambo ya outsourcing na wanaleta watu wa nje na wafanyakazi wanapoteza kazi. There's no job security, especially on seed carryout, on these other jobs like tractors, like mambo ya graders.
Tunapoenda pale tumalize mambo haya. Mambo ya outsourcing, mambo ya subcontracting, mambo ya contractors, mambo ya casual, mambo ya seasonal, mambo ya Provident Fund, na mambo ya shop steward kurudi kazi.
They further claim that the firm has been poorly paying them to a point that most of them can no longer meet their basic obligations, such as payment of rent and purchase of food. While accusing some senior company staff of violating workers' rights, the staff stated that Del Monte, as compared to other multinational companies, were just exploiting them. But in defense, the company's managing director claimed that the employees were on an illegal strike without notice, further refuting claims that the fruit processor had outsourced employees.
Rescue operations are still underway to save a 25-year-old man trapped in the mine pits of Kopuodo in Rongo, Migori County. The artisan gold miner is reported to have gone down the shafts alone on Thursday afternoon before the walls of the mine collapsed, trapping him inside.
Rongo area of Migori County. Rescue operations are still underway to rescue 25-year-old man who has been trapped at Kopuodo mine pit since Thursday afternoon. Efforts by villagers to rescue him by removing the soil debris from the 40-feet tunnel were however futile, with local leaders moving in with excavators.
Kijana anaitwa Nao Gweno aliingia shimo peke yake, na penye walikuwa naingia ilifungika. Tuligundua hiyo kitu saa 11 jioni.
Mmoja wa mchimba migodi aliingia chini akafungiwa na mawe huko chini. Sasa mpaka saa hii bado ako huko chini kutoka saa 9 mpaka saa.
Stephen Opodho, one of the miners, saying that people on mining expeditions were encouraged to go down the mine pits in groups for security reasons, given that non-locals were not conversant with the tunnels. He called on the government to train small-scale miners on safe mining and provide them with safety equipment to minimize risks associated with the activity.
Asking the government to assist us so that the local people may be very well conversant with the excavating of gold, so that people should not be stuck inside.
Sekta ya kuchimba migodi, tunaomba tu serikali walete watu wa train watu, wanaweza train watu kwanza, watu wa first aid, kama first aiders kama wanaweza letwa huku.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Let's now focus on security matters, where West Pokot Governor Professor John Lonyangapuo has called on the government to undertake a forceful disarmament at the Kerio Valley following increased killings in the area. According to the county boss, the only solution to safeguard the region is to mob up all illegal guns in the hands of a few criminals terrorizing locals.
West Pokot Governor is urging the government to resort to forceful disarmament in the restive Kerio Valley. Professor Lonyangapuo said the peace meetings and caravans held before have proved to bear no fruit, and the only situation to safeguard the region is to mob up all illegal guns in the hands of few criminals.
Bunduki yote yenye iko mikono ya raia mwenye hajapewa ruhusa na serikali, mtu mjinga anabeba bunduki bila ruhusa, rokota bunduki yenu yote through affirmative, serious, forceful disarmament. Chukua. Number 2, hata hii ya KPR yote.
The governor reiterated that the government should deploy more security personnel along the border.
Serikali ya Kenya ichukue sasa hatua ya kutuma askari ya kulinda raia na mali. Nisema ama niseme? Hata tumejenga manyumba ya polisi, jesekon na askari.
He said it was pointless for counties to invest in development projects that cannot benefit residents who are being killed and wounded by bandits almost every day.
Now, days after the government put a stop on any activities at the controversial Mukuru Kuanjanga land, the affected residents now claim a group of unknown people raided their makeshift structures at night with an aim of evicting them. The residents are now at the same time questioning the sincerity of the government's directive that stopped any evictions on the said land. This even as Gikomba traders cry foul over the impending demolition of a section of the open-air market to pave way for road construction. Ruth Wamboy reports.
According to Mukuru Kuanjanga residents who now live on makeshift structures, the meeting by the government and Mukuru elders was a hoodwink.
Na mimi tulipata uhakikisho kutoka kwa rais watu wa Mukuru wakuwe settled, lakini ile kisanga tuliona usiku, OCPD mpya amekuja, aliongoza operation watu wapewe pesa na wahame kwa hema.
The residents allege some people with government vehicles approached them at night and offered them some cash and later ordered them to vacate the area.
Hatuwezi kila saa tuonekanage kwa maruninga hapa, tunaonekana kwa ma-TV dunia mzima ya nini? Ikiwa si hatuonekani, mimi ningeomba serikali waache kutuficha. Sijui vile serikali inaweza sema ni mikora ilibomoa kijiji, na hiyo mikora haijashikwa mpaka wa leo.
The residents claim the elders who attended the South B meeting with the Interior and Land Cabinet Secretaries were not from the area.
Ni kama kuna mambo ingine haifikii rais kwa njia ile inayostahili. Kuna mambo ingine pia hata Fred Batiangi, the CS of Interior, pengine pia ambiwi maneno ile ya ukweli, because angekuja hapa kwa ground bila kukaa na hawa cartel jana, wangeambiwa na hawa wananchi wote vile unaona ukweli ile kitu iko. Wamefichwa kule South B. Huko South B sio Mukuru.
Meanwhile, Gikomba residents are crying foul over looming demolition to pave way for road construction.
Nilini moto ilikuwa inachoma. Sasa mimi niko hapa wananiambia nitoe. Hii stock unaweka wapi? Hii stock kubwa hii. Hiyo ni kitu ya kuuza mwezi mzima. Kama ni notice wananipatia 3 months. Mimi tayari nishakata license ya mwaka hii.
Babalarami. Na wakati kunachomeka hata hapa juu kunachomeka na barabara iko. Kwa hivyo tumeona hapa hakuna barabara inajengwa ya kusaidia sisi, hapa ni kuuza ameuza.
They say they have been there for over 20 years and the government must offer an alternative.
Ni muremi mudogo. Ngiri 10 nitakomboa nyumba na mimi nakomboa nyumba ngiri 3. Manyumba hatujalipa saa hizi. Nitaenda kukomboa nyumba ngiri 10 nitatoa wapi?
Elsewhere, scores of families were forced to spend the night in the cold after an investor backed with armed police officers demolished their houses in Kayole Estate in Naivasha.
Angalia the agreement ambazo ziko na mambo ambayo yameandikwa hapa, na pia chairman yuko hapa, chairman wa Shabahiri ama chairman wa eneo hili wamepelekana kotini, na kuna stay hata pia ya kutobomoa ili wa produce the documents zikiwa zote.
Swali langu ni makosa yangu ilikuwa yapi ili huyu aje anibomole nyumba ambayo nimejenga? Pili, kwa administration ya Naivasha, bwana DCC, personally nilikuwa kwa ofisi yako na tukakuuliza wapi court order ili tuone hiyo court order ambayo ilipeanwa. Haukutupatia hiyo court order.
Lakeside MCA Simon Wanyoike blamed the landowner and security officers for the losses incurred, noting that the court order had been served a day earlier.
Order ile imetoka kotini inakuaga karagani. Kama kuna shida askari kutofautisha stay order utuambie saa hii.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Ruth Wamboi.
Elsewhere, the government has issued a stern warning to politicians in Tana River County who incite youths to cause violence during election campaigns. Speaking during a security meeting at Kurawa sub-location in Garsen, Tana River, County Commissioner Bongai Rioba said the government will deal mercilessly with those instigating ethnic hatred and incitement. He advised politicians and opinion leaders to carry out peaceful campaigns and desist from hate speech.
Vyama vyote vinakuja hapa, watetezi wote wanakuja hapa, kila mtu anauza sera zake, na tungependa wakija mtu afanye shughuli zake aende. Afanye shughuli zake kwa amani na aende. Vijana wetu msijihusishe na mambo ya pengine kuzua fujo ama kurusha mawe ama nini. Na aje atie sera zake, akipata kura zake 2-3 ni sawa, aende bila msumbuano. Huo ndio ustaarabu. Si vita. Wala yake ni kura tu, ikiisha sote tutaishi kama Wakenya tena.
At about 13 minutes past the hour, let's take a quick break, but don't go away, we still have more news, including sports news.
am a happily married man, my friend. Aren't we all?
God, I'm used to seeing him so much on TV, I hardly ever get surprised anymore.
I've been waiting for that call. It's rude to keep a lady waiting.
You and Miss Makeup over there have been getting a bit too hands-on.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
He is my husband, okay?
He is getting out of control. And he's going to get you down with him.
You can't leave me. I love you.
Njue, wacha kila mtu alirie tumbo yake. In fact, I have a gazillionaire business to attend. So hiyo idea yako, go and try it somewhere.
Mr. President, yani wewe huoni hapa venye kuna opportunity ya pesa?
How I wish all the ladies were like you, Njue.
If we says were horses, beggars would ride on them.
Guys, I have a surprise for you. Hey, Jack, what kind of surprise is it?
Who cares what kind of a surprise? Surprise is a surprise to surprise.
Omera, I do not take mixed tea. I've already taken my continental breakfast in the comfort of my apartment. So, no thanks.
Maybe they were blown by the wind. Imagine I just let them here. All my expensive galots are gone. My galot.
Classmates, every Saturday on KBC.
Welcome back and thanks for keeping it KBC. Elsewhere, political aspirants from the pastoralist region now want IEBC to provide mobile voter registration centers to the nomadic communities during the second round set to start next week. Narok woman representative hopeful Lydia Masikonde has at the same time called on the migrating communities to ensure they register as voters. These as lobby groups of young professionals from Kiambu County warned the IEBC against gazetting the date of the general elections.
The second and final phase of the enhanced continuous voter registration exercise has been set for January 17th to 6th February 2022. Aspirants seeking positions in regions inhabited by nomadic communities now want the IEBC to provide mobile voter registration centers to the nomadic communities.
Many of the people, many of our pastoralists are out with their cattle, following their cattle, and are not able to come to registration centers. So my request to Chebukati and the team of IEBC is to ensure that they can give us mobile registration centers, at least tap in to the people who are not able to come.
Narok woman representative hopeful Lydia Masikonde challenged young people to register in big numbers so that they can have a chance of electing leaders of their choice. Meanwhile, a lobby group of young professionals from Kiambu County is calling on IEBC to shelve the gazettement of the election's date, which is already stipulated in the constitution. They argue the term of the presidency starts after swearing in, but not the date of the election.
In Article 136, that states the election of the president shall be held, one, and I quote, on the same day as a general election of members of parliament, being the second Tuesday in August in every 5th year, end of quote. It beats logic and common sense to say that general election will be held on August 2022, since it's not the 5th year, and doing so is being unfair to President Uhuru's term, reducing his term 2 years by close to a year.
The IEBC intends to register the remaining 4.5 million of the targeted voters in the 3 weeks period. Geshoki Washira, Lunchtime News.
Let's now shift focus to matters politics, where a section of Mombasa County ODM leaders are now appealing to other Kenyan communities to support a former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's presidential bid, saying he is the best bet yet. The leaders, led by Mvita Member of Parliament Abdul Swamad Nasir, termed Raila as the most experienced politician best posed to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta.
The Mombasa County ODM leaders claimed Raila was beyond tribal approach and fits the presidential bill. The leaders, led by Mvita Member of Parliament Abdul Swamad Nasir, said the former Prime Minister's economic ideologies will savage the lives of Kenyans.
But the spirit of Raila Amolo Odinga lives amongst the millions who believe that he will be the next president of this country. Nikiwapatia wito na kuwapatia mori ya kuwa the person who can be able and shall be able to bring an economic revolution in this country is the person we trusted to bring a democratic revolution in this country.
Elsewhere, Wiper Party has dismissed rumors that One Kenya Alliance is staring at a dead end. Speaking at Mavoko Primary School during bursary checks distribution drive, Mavoko Member of Parliament Patrick Makau said that the coalition is and will remain solid.
That is why we are supporting Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to be the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. Munanielewa? Watu wengine wanasema okay, yeye imeisha. My friend, that is the surprise of this country. Raila ataenda hivyo, Ruto aende hivyo, okay, yeye tuende hivi. Na pale mbele tukakutana, hakuna mtu atapata 50+1. Sasa round 2 tuulizane ni aje.
Meanwhile, political tension is building up in Kajiado County following the rising demand by political aspirants to run under the Azimio la Umoja political banner.
Sisi ambao tutakuwa tunabishana kwa viti, mimi ningewaomba tutese ile inaitwa friendly match. Kwa sababu tukipigana sana tutapoteza huko juu.
Na kwa hivyo katika hii meli yetu sisi tusikwarusane sana, kwa sababu tuko na upinzani huko nje. Na kwa hivyo hiyo ndio ombi langu leo, nikimpongeza kijana wangu na nikisema langu mimi kama baba county, kama kiongozi wenu, ni kuhakikisha kwamba haki imetendeka na watu wamepata haki yao.
Finally, Kakamega County Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has urged the Senate to fasten and pass the political parties amendment bill that will be submitted to Parliament.
Such amendments, I would recommend that in future they will at least come a year to election so that people have time to reflect on them. When they come late as these ones, then there is a lot of suspicion.
Education stakeholders have been urged to embrace the new competence-based curriculum CBC, as it has numerous advantages on education. The system is noted to enable the youth to explore and nurture their talents. Gildraf Ikenye, the head teacher of Blessed Narok School, noted that the new system will help shape the learners into better members of the society and not rely on employment opportunities alone.
All learners are important. So even a learner who would have lost hope in academics, by this competence-based curriculum, the learner feels that he is somebody, because it is aimed at nurturing all learners' potential.
Now, a community in Dabaso village in Watamu that lives adjacent to the Dabaso Creek ecosystem is reaping big from the conservation efforts of the residents. What started out as a community conservation group dubbed Dabaso Creek Conservation Group in the year 2004 has now turned into a renowned ecotourism center guided by principles of conservation. The initiative, besides being a tourist attraction, is also a source of employment to over 40 people. Safin Achieng Ouma reports.
early morning in Watamu on the north of the Kenyan coast. A beautiful sunrise as one takes an early morning canoe ride. This sight to behold leads you to the Crab Shack restaurant, a hidden treasure that is frequented by both local and international tourists, courtesy of its unique seafood and mangrove forest experience. According to the manager, Dixon Mizinga, it all started as a project to save the Dabaso Creek, which was slowly turning into a desert due to the massive destruction of the mangroves, a destruction that did not only pose a threat to the region's forest cover, but also led to a steady decline of the fish population, which lacked a proper breeding ground.
Msitu huu ambao unaonekana ulikuwa umeharibika sana. Wenyeji walikuwa wanakata hii miti wakitumia kwa njia ambayo haikuwa mzuri. Ndio sisi tukaja hapa tukajaribu kuongea na jamii zetu ili kuwafundisha jinsi ya kuweza kutumia hii rasilimali vizuri.
Attracted by the community's conservation efforts, other conservationists, together with government agencies such as the Kenya Wildlife Service, Kenya Forestry Research Institute, together with the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute, reached out to support the community to not only achieve its conservation goal, but to also make money while at it.
Ya kwanza walitupatia ni ya kufanya ufugaji wa crab farming. Na tukaanza na hiyo. Baada ya muda tukaona wageni wengi wanakuja hapa kuona huu mradi wetu, na kukawa na request ndogo za wale wageni kwamba kwa nini msitengeze mahali ambapo labda watu wakija kwa mafundisho wanaweza kukaa na waenjoy hii scenery. Na kwa sababu tulikuwa bado hatujakuwa vizuri sana, ilikuwa ni ile mchango kidogo ya wanachama, tukajenga kibanda kidogo tu kule mwisho. Wageni walianza kukuja kwa wingi, kile kibanda kikawa ni kidogo. Ikabidi sasa tuanze kutafuta funding, tusaidiwe na mashirika, na ndio tukajenga huo mkahawa. Kufikia sasa ni mkahawa ambao unaweza kuingiza zaidi ya wageni 100.
Since it was started in 2004, the project has boosted the region's economy and also offered employment to over 40 people.
Ni mradi ambao umesaidia watu wengi sana. Kufikia sasa tumeweza kuajiri zaidi ya watu 40 hapa, ambao isingekuwa ni huu mradi hatujui kufikia sasa wangekuwa hawa watu wako wapi. Wangekuwa labda wamerudi kuharibu mikoko, wamerudi labda kutumia uvuvi mbaya wa samaki, lakini saa hii wanapata riziki yao kutoka kwa mradi huu.
It has also caught the attention of both local and international tourists.
This is my second time coming here. Apparently I really love crab. So I'm back here to have more crab. And I recommend anyone to come here.
Discovering Kenya has been the most amazing part of it. Really, the whole coastline, I think, is very undiscovered. The ocean is beautiful, the sea life is so alive, and especially the mangroves here in Watamu are so alive and beautiful. We did a mangrove flow this morning with the new moon, floating our bodies out into the sea through the deep mangrove. It was really incredible and special.
Kuna some of activities like doing canoe ridings under the channel, na pia wanaona mambo mengi zaidi. Tuseme pia wanasoma mambo mengi.
Mwingine akiingia hapa ndani huwa anaenjoy. Mwanzo anaenjoy pale mahali ambapo anakula, kwa sababu tuko na hiyo breeze nzuri kutoka kwa mangrove. Yani tunasema wana breathe ile air safi kabisa kwa sababu ya hizo miti. Alafu kitu nyingine inafanya wanafurahi ni kwamba wanakula chakula wakiwa wamekaa juu, chini ni maji. Sasa hiyo pia inawavutia pia kukuja kwa wingi. Alafu na chakula yetu pia hapa Crab Shack iko very delicious, yani inapikwa kipekee.
The community is now sourcing funds to build accommodation facilities for guests, even as it seeks to expand its horizon in ecotourism. For Lunchtime News, I'm Safin Acheng Oma.
Impressive indeed. From that, we are crossing over to the world of sports. Cole Palmer showed he has the talents and the ingredients, so to speak, to make a big impact for Manchester City after playing a starring role in their FA Cup third round win at Swindon. The 19-year-old midfielder scored one goal and made another against the League Two side in his first FA Cup appearance after being handed a start in the absence of several first-team players who tested positive for COVID-19.
Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola was missing from the dugout at a packed county ground during the FA Cup third round match against Swindon, as he and 20 of his players and staff were isolating after testing positive for COVID-19. Despite 7 first-team players being among those who could not travel, the Premier League leaders named a strong team and were merciless against a side 72 places below them in the English football pyramid. Bernardo Silva met a low cross from Palma to put last year's beaten semi-finalists ahead early on, with Gabriel Jesus making it 2. Ike Gundogan beat Lewis Ward with a free kick from 25 yards to make it 3-0, but the Swindon goalkeeper did well to save a Jesus penalty minutes later after Silva was fouled by Jordan Leyden inside the box. Harry Makidi pulled a goal back for the hosts late on, only for Palmer to complete the scoring for City with a brilliant finish from a tight angle.
And that's where we put a cap on KBC Lunchtime News. Of course, we have more news on our social media platform. And today being a Saturday, we have Dira Magwiji and the Legends Edition. So don't miss out. My name is Ben Troy Njue, and Byron Abuli has been our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Do have yourself a blessed Saturday afternoon.
I hope by the time I'm coming back, you should have composed yourself with something meaningful to talk to me about.
You know nothing. I know the case inside out. Forget it. I'm still in charge.
I see the type of the poison that your father is banking in your sweet brain.
Wow. So I don't have a brain.
Case.
For the 10th time I said I understand.
Why would you be telling me this?
Because I don't care about this case anymore.
You're given a chance and you messed it up, so I'm in charge now.
Jen, you have a lot of issues today.
Usijali.
No, we cannot speak on phone.